Good morning, everybody. I hope you all had a good weekend. We had a good weekend here. Not very eventful. We're all still kind of nursing over colds. It's kind of passed around the family, so we've been, healing ourselves from that. So I haven't been posting much content. But it's given me time to think about what I wanted to talk about. And I think I've got an idea. We'll go into some literature today. And I don't want this to be too long of a message. Lately I've been reading kind of some more, I guess, like advanced stuff. And, I'm not going to lie, it's bogging me down a little bit. And so I figured, it'd be good to go back to the basics a little bit. I think it's always good for us to do that every once in a while. Go back to the basics and reestablish, relearn. No one's too far advanced to ever do that. So, and we'll go into talks on the path proper. If you've ever had a job interview, I'm sure a lot of you have, and, at some point, they're going to ask you the question, whether it's on the application, in the interview, well, what's your qualifications? Are you qualified? And you'll go on and you'll list some things, say, well, yes, I've got so-and-so skills in such area and department, proving yourself. And if they line up, they'll hire you. In life, we have to show our qualifications for many things. And on the path, there are qualifications as well. Let's look into some of these. Let's see, page 46. Sure. One moment. Warming up some food for my boy. Page 46. This isn't page 46, but I always like this stuff. This is a used book. I'll buy used books. It's cheaper. But it's always cool. I always find it neat to see stuff where the previous owner had written down or highlighted things. I always make a point to, check those out. Sometimes I like to think of them as like little clues, maybe, that the divine God's left for you to maybe look at. Anyway. All right. Chapter 7. The 4 qualifications. These qualifications are, and in a previous lesson, I taught about terms. These are going to be some of these terms. Discrimination. 1. Desirelessness. 2. Good conduct. 3. And love. These are the 4 qualifications on the path proper. One moment. All right, we'll read the first paragraph. These qualifications have been stated over and over again in various religions, but this translation differs slightly from any that have been given previously. In the case of the first, discrimination, there has been little variation. I have already explained the words used for this by the Hindus and Buddhists, how they mean the same thing as conversion among the Christians, and how the pupil must unite the ego and the personality. On the path proper, the process has to be repeated between the monad and the ego. The ego is a fragment of the monad, put down as far as the higher part of the mental plane. It also comes down for the collection of experience, to learn to receive and respond to vibrations such as cannot be sensed by the monad at his own level. So the ego, in turn, has to learn that he is part of the monad, that he exists only for that monad. And when that, in turn, is fully realized, the man is ready to take the fifth initiation and so become an adept. Here's some other little details. You can find this book on Amazon. You don't have to join a lodge or a club, pay dues, take your kids to some guru or anything like that. You don't have to do any of that to get there. Just go on Amazon and buy the book. Now, I'm not going to go into too much of the details of that, but as we learn this thing and as we tread the path proper, let us remember to go back to the basics and re-tap into our qualifications. Y'all have a good day.